Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. We're about to react to the COD Next Zombies showcase. We're at the Zombies part of the stream.
You just got a sneak peek.
And we've already watched the trailer and I've already done a trailer reaction, so I've posted that on my channel. And also on the audio front, this sounds like the new version of Damned. But if you want the trailer reaction, that's already on the channel right now, okay?
At the end of that trailer, the Soul Harvester weapon blueprint, more...
Oh, that's a microtransaction. I really detest the fact that that is the first thing that we're being talked about here. I think that is really bad.
On that in just a bit. But now,
let's move on.
Let's welcome some very special guests from Treyarch. Because
yes,
we got
Kevin Drew,
as well as Miles Leslie. Kevin is the Associate Director of Design, and Miles is the Associate Creative Director. Welcome to the both of y'all, and it is so exciting to talk about some zombies.
Man. Fired awesome to be here. Yes,
it looks awesome in here. We just swapped over to a little undead purple.
This art in the background here, admittedly, that looks really cool. Like, I like a lot of the art that they've got for it. That's good.
In the back,
when I think of the undead, I think of
the ambiance.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about purple and zombies that just, it really does something for me. But guys, earlier this week, we held an event at Treyarch. We were able to bring a couple of different groups of creators who are here today at Call of Duty Next into Treyarch. First time you guys have had folks in the studio in a long time. It was super exciting. We want to talk a little bit about the event and some of the awesome reactions we got to see in the room from these guys.
Yeah, no, it was a great experience bringing in those people. You know, zombies is traditionally something that is a mode based on...
No, I'm so sad I didn't get to go to the studio, man. That makes me sad. Treyarch are in a new building compared to where they were before. So I've never seen this. I've never seen this space that they're in.
Something that is a mode...
Oh, they got all the old stuff.
Based on exploration, discovery, but we felt like there's so much...
Oh my god, look at all the art they've got in the background. Damn.
Hi guys. New here, we really wanted to get a group in there and play it, get hands-on, get impressed.
Oh, so they like watched it as opposed to it being...
Impressions, get feedback, and we just had a really great time playing with them.
You're getting to see a couple of the reactions in the room there. They got to see some footage. They got some playtime.
Oh, they did get playtime. Okay, interesting.
You guys answered about some questions.
Yeah, the playtest though was absolutely fantastic. There were so many awesome moments. It just felt right getting them into play.
Well, I was going to ask, like, as you know, having been in the lab, making this for so long, right? And then getting people to see it. In what you guys said before, I remember you guys mentioning that it's not a thing you do often, bringing people into the studio. So that must have been a very, like, almost revealing experience for you guys, right?
It felt very good getting outside people besides us playing it.
Yeah,
like,
so you're like, oh, wait a minute, this game is good.
Hey, this is super fun. You know? So
it's like, we were right. Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
Guys, one of the most popular questions I noticed, you know, ripe amongst...
What's the question going to be? Let's guess real quick. Because obviously, like, someone has very carefully put together the script for what they're talking about here. So what do we think is the question going to be? Like, one of the most popular questions is, can you buy skins in Zombie? Like, can you imagine? What do we reckon it's going to be? I wonder.
Amongst the crowd of creators that was there, Easter eggs.
Okay, it's going in a good direction.
We know them, we love them, we want them in Zombies. What, if anything, can you tell us? Give us a little taste.
Well, there's no Easter egg, so this is about to be the most tactically deployed answer.
A little tidbit, a little morsel.
Well, something.
We can't give them all.
Giving any.
Well, then what should we expect?
So if you were paying attention to that trailer you just saw for the first time, maybe at the end, if you go back and scrub it,
the worm,
you might see something that you'll see that's kind of big. Now, I don't want to give it all away. There's a lot to discover in this open world Zombies.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Did he just say anything? At all? Like, granted, it's a question about Easter eggs. So him dodging is honestly fine. It's fine. But, like, don't tell me about the thing that's not an Easter egg. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit confused about that.
And I think that is going to lead perfectly to my question, which is, with so much that needs to be unpacked here, I guess, you know, what I'm curious about is like, what are the key things that you want the community to know about this iteration of Zombies? The differences potentially from, you know, the previous game till this one, because you guys are having some fun with it out there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a mode based on experimentation, and we're really doing that here. This is taking our gameplay, our classic Zombies gameplay and mechanics, and putting them on the big map and all of the experiences that offers with vehicles and the vast space and the higher player count. And then on top of that, putting it in the modern warfare era where you have their equipment, the operators, and it just feels so badass, you know?
And it's this massive open world co-op experience. So that's something that feels exciting.
Interesting they're calling it a co-op experience. Like, so no solo or co-op. They're just sort of straight up just being like, it's for co-op.
It feels different. Kind of what led you guys to design, you know, Modern Warfare Zombies the way that you did in this big new way?
So we just saw an opportunity with the big map to have the biggest PvE experience we've ever had in the franchise. So
Yeah.
Which
in
is
the
saying
past,
something.
we had pure PvE.
Yes, pure PvE, no PvP.
You're safe here, and there's, you know, we usually have four
Kind
players.
of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You know,
Safe
it
is
is
relative.
questioning zombies at the end of the day. Yeah. But and then you mentioned like the way that the game is played, the open world, but how do the players like interact with one another in
Good
that
question.
world? Because, and also like, you know, I like running solo from time to time. Is
Yeah.
that also something that's possible as well?
Absolutely. So it's 24 players total. You can go in solo. You can go in with your squad. But what's awesome is that you're all on the same team trying to do the same thing. So when you're out in the world, you'll run into other squads or other players. You can make a decision in that moment to like combine and form a super squad.
Oh, so you
of
can
six.
form a super team.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
in-game form a super
Yes.
team.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And that's 8 squads of 3. You can group up together. You can go lone wolf it. I don't know.
Wait. Squads of 3? Did she say squads of 3? I thought it was... What?
I don't know if I'd recommend that, guys, from what I've
I
seen.
mean,
Experienced players.
if you want a challenge, you can go in solo, but it is a lot of fun to grab some friends.
So that's why in the other trailer we saw, when there was a 6-man, that wasn't a 4-man that had +2. That was just 2 3-man squads teaming up. So it's not 4-player. Like, it's not 4-player squads at least.
Form those super squads.
Interesting.
And again, the map is massive. There's zombies everywhere.
Well, it's the Warzone map, right?
There's other surprises
We're gonna
everywhere.
get to that. We're gonna get to that.
I'm getting excited.
And so a couple weeks ago, we saw the very first look at Modern Warfare Zombies in the cinematic that we released, which really sets the stage for the narrative of Modern Warfare Zombies in that we see Soap, we see Laswell, and more importantly, we saw someone who I didn't think we were going to see again.
That's right.
Miles, can you take us through?
Someone who we didn't think we were going to see again? Who? Wait, I don't actually know. Wait, is she maybe talking about Weaver?
What's going on?
What's going on here?
What's going on?
100%. Yeah, 100%. So, you know, that opportunity that Kevin talked about is there's a few questions when people saw that cinematic. And if you hadn't, go and watch it. It's awesome. Hold on a second. Where are we in time and place? We are between Modern Warfare 19 and MW22.
Between Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2. Interesting.
Year 2021. And that's really important to the story because in true Treyarch Zombies fashion, we are always jumping eras, jumping moments, and really touching different timelines in interesting ways. I can't go into all of it, but there's a reason for that. Now, the next question which you're hinting to is, why is Zakayev alive? I saw him die, but did you? Did you really?
I saw.
She was talking about Zakayev. Okay. That's the person that we didn't expect to be returning. Okay, I'm caught up. Yeah, because it could have been Weaver or Ravenov or like a bunch of people, to be honest, but it was
I saw
Zakayev.
him get shot. I saw him fall down a missile silo.
You saw him fall. There was blood. But in true sort of story fashion, if there's no body, he's not dead. Now, Task Force 141 went back to that silo. There was water at the bottom. It had been drained. Lots of blood. And Zakayev was gone. Now, officially declared deceased.
Ooh.
But then whispers emerge that he's still alive.
This is weird. They're explaining the story to us in a way that I'm super not used to. Like, it's the zombies story and they're just telling it to us. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not the zombie story anymore. It's the Modern Warfare story, I guess. But like, it's still like this is a really new angle.
And now, of course, in true sort of villain fashion, he starts to hear whispers himself as he's recovering from falling down that silo, which he did.
Yeah, that hurts.
That hurts a little bit.
Yep.
Is about this new thing called Ethereum. And he wants to get it. And that really sets the stage. All of that, by the way, is day one getting in the door like you saw in the cinematic, which is that's the start of the story. And players are going to experience this story just in really interesting ways.
So it's a flashback, it's canon, we've got worlds colliding
Yes.
with Cold War, with Modern Warfare. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But the story really progresses in a new and interesting way. Let's take a look at how these come to life in the intro mission.
Ooh.
Yes, yes.
What is this?
Your objective is a roof-mounted comms tower.
Soap is on my screen. We truly have left the ether behind, people.
Market location on TAC map. Once tower is active, use decryption key from Jansen's tablet to establish comms.
Okay. So this is why Noah was saying it's like a campaign mission. Because that's what Noah said in his video. He said it's like 3 campaign missions and then you have done it. And I understand now why he framed it that way, because I didn't really understand that at first. But they're just shooting soldiers and...
Objective is on the roof.
Huh.
Well, you got here quicker than expected. I still need a minute or two. I'm in the middle of erasing my research from the Terminus database.
Protect Dr. Jansen. We need her alive.
They're just shooting AIs, dude.
Target down. Zakayev will unleash this hell everywhere from New York to Joburg if we can't stop him here.
Clear and hold that LZ strike team. Multiple enemies on approach. Weapons free on all threats.
And I know that sounds silly, right? Like, they're just shooting AIs, so they're just shooting NPCs. Like, that's what zombies always is. So I recognize that, like, someone is gonna type a comment being like, of course they are. But, like, do you know what I mean? It feels like the campaign mission where there's just fodder in front of you. There's not, like, meaning to it. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of AI just being there in a way that I'm not super keen on, personally.
So what you just saw there was just a little snippet.
Wait, that was it?
Approach. Weapons free on all threats.
Then they just extract and...
So what you just saw there was just a little snippet of that story mission intro. And what's really exciting
Wait, what? I'm confused.
again about this opportunity across the open world is, like Kevin was saying, is we want to bring that story to the forefront. These story missions have handlers from the Modern Warfare world, from the Black Ops world, Cold War world that you might see. Some new friends along the way as well. And they're going to help you on this story and these missions that take you across the big map. Lots of different activities and cool things to do. Awesome cinematics and well. And again, the whole point of this is that if you're new to being a Zombies player, we want you to experience that story. We want you to get into it. But if you're seasoned and you just want to jump in and kill some zombies,
Yeah.
you can free roam and do that and then jump to the story later. We really have embraced that open world sort of feeling across this. And that's really the exciting thing is kind of pick your poison, that player pacing in that sense.
Modern Warfare 3 is about options.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more prevalent to me as I'm hearing you guys talk about this like throughout the day. Super awesome and great to see that like the player choice is very prevalent, right? But Zombies has been a mode that's been in the game for such a long time. It's really. It runs side by side, parallel to Call of Duty and its incredible legacy. But there are still players that are going to be new to this, that are coming into this with a fresh...
No. Don't talk to me about new players. Don't do it. Talk to me about old players. I'm being a little bit selfish here, but I don't care about the noobs. I don't care about the noobs. I care about us. I care about everyone in this live stream right now. Like, talk about old age pensioners, okay?
Set of eyes for the first time ever. What's
God
in
damn
store
it.
for them? Because, you know, this could be a little jarring, right? There's a lot of stuff going on over here.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be jarring if it's just campaign. Everyone's played a COD campaign. I don't really know why that would be jarring.
Absolutely. So zombies can be pretty intimidating, and we know that there might be a lot of players who might only play Modern Warfare, DMZ, or Warzone. So we've built this mode to make sure that they can have success and have fun, and also support our veteran audience. So
and on a brand new
map, and we'll talk about that more later.
Not later.
But here for this mode, we've broken it down into 3 tiers of difficulty. So you're gonna infill on the outer edges,
Okay.
and this is kind of like lower level difficulty. And new players can really hang out here for the duration of a match and have a great time. But our advanced players are gonna want to try to get into that center of that map as soon as possible. That's where Sakeo threw that vial and started this entire incursion.
What an arm on him.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
He yeeted the vial. Now we have a hot zone.
Yep.
And now we have to.
Okay, so we are going to be able to get to the site like where that landed. So that means we are going to presumably be able to get to the bunker that Weaver is in, which is good.
Pay
Hate to
for
see
it.
it.
All right. Well, then let's look at
Like,
the flip
that's
side of that
positive.
one, though, right? Because we talked about the new players, how we get those folks into the game and have them playing something outside of their comfort zone, so to speak. But one thing that we know is that there are core Zombies fans that love this experience, live and breathe it. So what do you have for them?
Yeah, absolutely. When you talk about that fusion, and like Kevin said, the experimentation was, well, how do you bring all those core zombie Treyarch features into this new world? And we've done just that. You can see we've got the mystery box. We've got wall buys. We've got the pack-a-punch, the pat machine. All of these things are spread out across this ginormous map. And as you go in, it's up to you.
Cool.
Where do you want to buy them? How do you want to accumulate your arsenal and your loadout? How do you want to tackle this world? But those zombies features are super key to making this feel fresh and really an evolution of that sort of open world feel as you get more powerful. And again, it's fused with the Modern Warfare DMZ feeling as well.
What is he saying? I don't understand what he's saying. He's saying you can pack a punch. That is... Well, I need to hear it one more time. I'm so confused.
Where do you want to buy them? How do you want to accumulate?
Where do I want to buy them? Am I choosing where to buy a perk? Like, can I change where the perks spawn in?
Your arsenal and your loadout.
Or,
how do you want to tackle this world? But those zombies features are super key to making this feel fresh and really an evolution.
So those are the
of that sort of open world feel as you get more powerful. And again, it's fused with the Modern Warfare DMZ feeling as well as buy stations as well. Using the score streaks.
That you recognize.
Why would you ever buy a gun off the wall if you've just got a buy station? Like, if I can just call in a loadout drop, like, or I spawn in with a loadout anyway, like, I'm confused.
Absolutely.
If from experiences in other modes.
100%, which you may not have had in other zombies. So that's where we've married them together in interesting ways. But
it's awesome.
The most important core feature, of course.
It's a sweet new feature, folks.
What?
Is our cereal.
Cereal.
You can't find this in the map. I wish you could. Yeah. It's actually delicious, though.
Yeah, it's here at Call of Duty Next. It has some awesome features. It's got a UV light. It's
outrageous.
I may or may not have taken a box of those.
Oh, yeah,
already.
I've stolen this.
I mean,
this
a crate. I'm not talking about a single box. I'm talking a single crate.
Oh, wow.
What came off the truck? You know?
Wow.
And shout out to
Okay.
Off Limits Cereal for making this with the box bespoke for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, and it's a woman-owned business, which is dope.
Awesome.
And it
clank,
goes in the dark.
bang.
Yeah. So I would be remiss to not hit on one of the really core features for our Zombies players, and that's the Wonder Weapon, guys.
Yes.
I need to know.
Yeah. So. Of course, we have a Wonder Weapon, and it has been custom made again for this open world experience. It is the Scorcher.
It looks good.
Oh my word!
It looks
I'm
good.
gonna let you just look at it for a second.
That first raise.
Yes,
that thing is huge.
It's absolutely amazing. So the Scorcher again is built for demolishing the highest density of zombies
like 10
you've ever
targets.
seen
The
before.
hordes.
Oh yes,
We're
the
gonna melt hordes.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, it's got an alt fire that launches you into the air so that you can use.
That's what the launch was before. It's alt fire catapults you. Okay, that's cool.
To engage. If you want to jump into a horde, if you want to get away from the horde of zombies, if you want to jump on a building or over a building, like it's really.
Wait, so you can like rocket jump with it? Is that-
Yeah, absolutely. It's once you get into like basically the flow state of using it and it's in your arsenal.
There's no limits.
Chef's kiss.
Okay,
Chef's kiss.
chef's
Wonder
kiss.
weapon.
You're like, I'm the
Scorcher. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
And part of what makes Zombies so special, especially with this new open world field, is the
Yeah, JC makes a good point. Like, they're just explaining it all. Like, it's a wonder. Like, before, old wonder weapons would be such a shock. You, like, get the weapon and you'd be, like, intrigued by all its potential uses. And even if you saw it a little bit in a trailer, it wouldn't be so much of, like, the alt fire of the wonder weapon is this. The main fire of the wonder weapon is, like, it was a little bit less labored in that way. And by telling it to us in advance, it really takes away the discoverability or the discovery side of things when you are playing the game. And so you're like, well, I already know this. So what's new when you start playing? And it just means that they're like reducing the runway of the game mode so much more by like them pointing out the worm at the end of the trailer, for instance. Like, don't point that out to me. I'm not brain dead. Like, I can see the worm. I know that there's a thing there, but by taking the figuring out of it and the mystery and the wonder, you end up with something a lot more sort of sterile, which I really think is unfortunate in many ways.
is this. It's not a one and done game mode. So how is Modern Warfare 3 Zombies gonna push that forward and take the next step in terms of what keeps players coming back for more every time?
Yeah, so this is a really kind of replayable mode, isn't it?
Dude, Kyle Richardson in the chat just worded it better than I ever could. There is no wonder anymore. It's just another weapon. A round of applause for Kyle. It's sad, but it's true. That is so accurate. The wonder of the weapon is really reduced in this kind of context when it's this very curated presentation of it to you, and like, this is exactly what you can expect with this and how it works, and we're telling you exactly where to find it, and like, here's what it is. The wonder is gone. It's just a weapon. You're just telling me about a weapon, which is unfortunate.
And it's an extraction, exfil mode, right? So you're trying to get deeper and deeper into the map, and at first, you're not going to be that successful. You're going to have to play a lot, over and over.
You're going to have to play a lot to be successful?
Mastery, try to take things out, make sure you successfully exfil.
This is another thing that I think they really need to be careful of with their wording in events like this. If you say you need to play a lot to be successful, if I jump in and I successfully exfil in my first game in November, I am instantly going to be disappointed, right? Whereas with slightly different framing, if they said on the stream right here, when you jump in, you're gonna have like some low level objectives which you can work through in order to get to harder ones later or something. Then when I jump in November and like successfully exfil, I'm not gonna be there like, wait, that was meant to be hard, but it was super easy and I'm bored now. Instead, I'm gonna be like, that's fine, I'm on the right track. Like, they're not overselling it, right? Whereas if you're telling me like it's gonna be so difficult, bro, you're gonna fail. You have to master it before you can do it. And then I've mastered it game one. Like, that's gonna suck. That experience is just gonna suck because my expectations have been meddled with. And I think Call of Duty as a whole do this a lot. And it's unfortunate because it's a really easily avoidable mistake. But it's just part of the way that they market things. I really think that it means that the veteran fan base is disappointed a lot more than they could be for the actual same gameplay result. It's just that for one person, their expectations are higher, and therefore they don't like the gameplay so much, whereas for another person, if they kept the expectations low, then the gameplay itself would be fine. It would be like, okay, it's more.
So you can come back in the next time hit the ground running with the right stuff.
Yeah. And when you talked to me, we mentioned it before, we saw Zakayev yeet the vial in the cinematic. That has created the incursion zone, that super hot area. We saw.
Yeah, an example of it is in Vanguard. Airsus says they said it was super replayable, and then it ended up being that you could basically just rinse it in like a 45 minutes and you didn't need to play anymore. And like that kind of marketing is so bad for Call of Duty. Like it harms the player base in such a big way.
A little bit of on the TAC map. Can you?
Granted, maybe this will be really hard. Maybe we'll jump in, it'll be hella difficult. We'll see, right? I could be wrong here. I'd love to be wrong. It's just that, like, from 20 years of Call of Duty, I've got very used to that happening, and I just wanted to call it out.
Talk to me about how, the storm will play into the map, what that vial did, and what the gameplay, repercussions are going to be for the player there.
Yeah, so this thing is in the map, and it's the source. It's spreading the dark aethers. So it will always be there in the map. It's going to dictate.
They call it the dark aether. That's weird.
This time limit. At 45 minutes, it's going to start growing and completely consuming the map, and that's where you need to get out.
Yeah.
And a lot of zombies.
And it gets really, intense.
So it's a total 1 hour
session
limit. Yeah.
Dude, these zombies are bullet sponges.
The map, and that's where you need to get out.
Yeah.
Granted, this gun isn't pack-a-punched, but like, look how spongy they are.
And a lot of zombies.
And
These
it
next
gets
ones,
really, intense.
They do not
It's
care.
a total 1 hour
session
limit. Yeah, 1 hour session. Again, those 24 players.
It goes back to getting in, again, player pacing. You want to stay on the outer edges, awesome. You want to challenge yourself, go into medium and high threat. But the Ether Storm waits for no one. And it will come, and it will make the zombies harder.
Yeah.
Why is there a time limit?
And that's part of the challenge and fun is, are we going into the storm to cleanse it?
Yeah.
Are we avoiding it?
What are we gonna
Are we
find in
getting the
there?
hell out of
What's
Dodge?
the exfil
What
plan?
are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
Is really where you get into a lot of fun.
And really, too, when you think about that heat map for zombies, part of that is going to be gearing up. You said you're spending, a lot of players will be spending a lot of time on the outer edges of the map or in the yellow.
Yeah.
Gearing up, getting that loot, collecting the right things that we need to have a successful infill. But one of the most exciting things about that is how weapons will carry over from match to match.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with DMZ, we have contraband weapons, so everything you're finding in the match you can take out and bring it with you.
Item persistence.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have insurance
Okay.
slots, but we've really taken that to the next
guys.
level with all the zombies upgrades. So,
Thank you, Moses.
in the past, you've had to do all that just in game and you lose it. Now, all of those things have been formed into a consumable version called acquisitions. So things like Pack-a-Punch, weapon rarity, ammo mods, wonder weapons.
Yeah.
All of those things you can find in the match, and you can decide to use them then, or you can take them out and just start the next match, load up,
Oh my
Pack-a-Punch,
God.
drink
Yes.
4 perks immediately, and now you're good to go. Like, you're going all the
Oh my God. That is so confusing to me. I'm so confused because what? Oh God, I'm struggling to process this. The zombies formula in the past was you would jump in, you'd get set up, you'd slay, you'd go for a high round, you'd finish, right? Then in Cold War, it got adjusted so that you jumped in, and actually prior to Cold War, we had maps with like banks, for instance, right? Where you would jump in, you'd be able to get loads of points round one, you get set up round one, you could just play, right? So they experimented with pushing the bounds of that formula a little bit. Then we got into Cold War, and you could jump in with a weapon that was juiced up. And it meant that you didn't have any of that round one pistol only, and it was a very, very different experience, right? But it was still about like getting more powerful, getting your Pack-a-Punch, like that sort of stuff. And now it's no longer about getting good weapons in your individual playthrough because you already have them. It's no longer about upgrading them because you already have the upgrades. It's no longer about getting the perks because you already have the perks. It's no longer about going for a high round because there are no rounds. So it's about basically being in the game, getting stuff for your next match so that you don't have to set up again in the next match, so that you are in an endless loop of already being at max power, right? And Zombies has always been, with Pack-a-Punch tiers and with perks and everything, it's always been about gradually increasing your power baseline to try and meet the increasing exponential curve of zombie health with every round, right? That's been the goal forever. Like, your overall experience in Durries is that you get a couple rounds in, you buy your first perk, and that means that you can deal a little bit better with the fact that they've got more health. You get your second perk, deal a little bit better with it, them going faster. Third perk, etc. Pack a punch so that you can get like that like round 20 jump from your weapon no longer really being that good to suddenly you can kill again, and then by the time you get to round 30, round 35, it's starting to not really work so much. You have to rely on traps a bit more, but you're trying to basically meet that power curve of the zombies themselves, okay? But in this, there is no feeling like a god moment. There is no trying to scrape through and meet that curve, because you'll have done it once, and then you'll just be filling up your inventory and just doing it over and over again for the future. Like, you will already be at the peak that you can get to. So you will start the game OP. You will go into tier 3. Tier 3, that third world tier, will have to be balanced assuming that you are already powerful. And so you will just sort of in a binary fashion go from OP to it being like bullet spongy, but I will have no agency or real control over whether or not it's bullet spongy. Instead, I'm just going to have to go in hitting the same power ceiling I always hit. And for what? Like, I feel like the mechanics, and I'm not talking mechanics as in like shooting and stuff, but the mechanics of playing the mode overall, like the player's movement through the mode and the flow, still, we are, I don't know how long, 30 minutes in to watching this like breakdown from the live stream. I'm still like, I don't really get what the carrot on the end of the stick is for players to continuously play this. I don't really get it still. You're just shooting zombies. But like, that's it. And it's not even shooting zombies, it's shooting round 50 zombies. And I'm getting my gear back to I don't really understand
Away
that.
into the high throw.
Straight into the red zone, juiced up on perks, right?
Yeah.
Already got your
Quite a
weapon.
difference,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
yeah.
But what was
It may be good. Like, it may be that there's stuff that's in that red zone, that tier 3 zone, that is really fun to do, and then you want to jump into it and waste no time gearing up, and so like maybe that's good. But like, as it stands right now, I'm not seeing an explanation of that, or I'm not getting that carrot on that stick. Like, they haven't conveyed that. Do you know what I mean?
was the, I guess, like inspiration? Was it just, hey, let's just try something creative, different, fun, do what Zombies has always done and push the bar?
Yeah, it's just like introducing this different kind of pressure with the time limit,
Yeah.
but then now giving players this additional ability to bring things in is huge.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
it's part of that. How do you ease new players and seasons players, right? It kind of relates to rounds. If you're familiar from that, is like
Be careful with your language, Miles.
when you get into the higher zones and you have more of that arsenal. That's for those seasons
They're gonna
players.
feel it.
They're gonna feel it, and they're gonna want that challenge. Well, you know what? There's a big challenge there, so you better be loaded up on a bunch of stuff coming in to really succeed.
All right, we're getting into the lightning round here. Finally, Miles,
Lightning round, AO. Jason Blundell, MrRoflWaffles, Lightning Round interview 2016, AO.
I asked you before. You said that Zombies is all about discovery, and it is. We know those secrets, those Easter eggs are out there lurking in the world. But of all the secrets, again, I'm going to pressure you.
Keep going back to the
Come
well
on.
here, Steph.
Please do.
What can you tell us? What should we be looking out for?
You know, I can't get into all of the secrets. I want to, but the team would kill me. There's a lot in there.
We
But
want people to find them.
we
too.
do want them to find it, but we have, again, taken advantage of this map. There's a lot there on day one for Discover. We love watching the community find these things. That is part of the fun. So we don't want to spoil any of it, but there's a lot in there, and we're already planning some fun stuff to come later as well.
Well,
So
look,
more coming.
You're not getting it
More
out of
coming.
us.
you know what?
What I don't understand is they told creators this stuff. So like Noah has spoken about this in his video already. So I don't know why they're being like, we don't want to say it here, because they've already said it.
guys.
Like, the info is public. So why not say, I don't get that. it's confusing.
But
Live seasons.
Steph might be trying to dig deep. I will never do that, ever in a million years. But what can you guys tell me about the monsters? What do you tell us about all the monsters that we have coming up here? Because there seems like there's some wild ones that are going to be available for players to fight against.
We have a full gambit. It starts with just our zombies. We have more zombies than we've ever seen before in one space. They completely fill up this map. Anywhere you go, there's going to be danger. But then we have all of our other awesome enemies. So Hellhound, our Mimic, who can disguise himself as a cache in the map, so you have to be careful. The Disciple, he buffs.
That was me this morning.
Just waking
Free
up.
coffee.
Buffing zombies and life draining the Mangler with his cannon and ranged attack.
Bro, the Mangler being there is like so weird to me. My brain is so confused about the
just
Mangler.
all sorts of threats. But the Mega Abomination, he's about 3 times bigger than we last saw him. He's
Yeah, 'cause
so
he
big
needed to be
now.
bigger.
He's now grown some crawlers under his stomach.
Oh,
and
fun.
The dingle dangles.
He
is
can't
like-
fit in buildings anymore. He's so big. So he needs those guys to
But he'll
go
still
inside.
get you in
and-
the
Oh,
buildings.
but this is when you talk about like that opportunity of open world is, okay, you think you're going to be safe, I'm going to run inside. No, absolutely not. The Abomination will send in these little creatures and they will try to explode and flush you out. So really it's, do you want to die by the lasers outside or do you want to die by these zombie explosions? Again, it's up to you.
Your choice.
It's your choice.
Choose your own adventure.
That's right.
But perhaps more terrifying than monsters even for the first time. There are
right.
humans
Yes.
in zombies
They
as
were
well.
the real enemies all along.
So this enemy PMC group
Yeah, absolutely.
is in the world.
That's another, again, important to the story when you go back to Sakayev and this Terminus Outcomes PMC group. They're his muscle that he's hired. They found that Ethereum. They want more in true sort of bad guy fashion, and they are across the map. So for the first time, you're going to be able to, if you want, fight these AI. There's a gameplay loop tied to them where there's a progression on that side, and you can run into them. You can avoid them.
There's a gameplay loop tied to them where there is a progression on that side. Okay.
If you want, if you just want to chill out and shoot zombies all day, that's great. You want to mix it, that's cool. Or the coolest thing is to take a horde of zombies, and Kevin loves to say it's like a hornet's nest, which it is you shoot a few, you get a big horde of them.
They're upset.
And you basically train them right into the human
that's
AI.
cool.
And,
Okay.
And it's basically the zombies are third-partying.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So we're 100% team zombies, and you just kind of sneak by as they're causing all the carnage, so you can loot, get what you need, and get out. But it's really just I can't express the moment when you unleash your own zombie horde on the human AI. It's really satisfying.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait.
What are the chances that when you actually play the game, like you actually sit there and do that? I kind of feel like that's not something that I'm going to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, surely I'm just going to be getting shot by...
Well, you guys saw it after the Zombies trailer earlier, but in a couple of minutes, Lottie's going to give you all the details on the Soul Harvester weapon blueprint. Stay tuned. That thing is
Microtransaction.
absolutely absurd. It's 100% something you're going to want.
Microtransaction.
But I have some other news. We got a little taste of that big map that you guys keep talking about. I am excited to announce that the big map you saw here teased in Modern Warfare Zombies was actually your very first look at the brand new map coming to Warzone. We're deep diving into Battle Royale coming next.
Oh boy, it's going to
Stay
be
tuned.
awesome stuff. Firstly,
it?
Kevin, Miles, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. Your passion is infectious. Your love for this is truly
Excited to be
inspirational,
here.
and I'm excited to try it out. now.
I wish we could stay and talk about it.
Yes.
I think
This is the thing, right? These devs, Kevin Drew and Miles Leslie, like, I like these guys, right? I think that Kevin Drew, especially, I know less about Miles' specific involvement. I thought he was more on the MP side. I could be wrong about that. But, like, I know, I've, like, met up with Kevin, I've spoken to Kevin, and, like, I know that he has fought tooth and nail to try and get stuff for, like, veteran Zombies players into the game. Like, I know that that is something that he is very tuned into. I know that that's the case. So, like, as far as they go, think that like they're doing all they can, right? I just think that somewhere along the line here, there's been a either a communications breakdown with truly deploying the information that we need to get super excited about this. And that's not from the Treyarch devs, that's from the overall just Activision planning of COD Next. Like, that is not, like, the devs ultimately are given a script, and the devs have to read a script. That is ultimately the way that is. They have what they're allowed to talk about, they have what they're not allowed to talk about. That kind of vibe, right? And, like, the question of, like, is there a main quest Easter egg, for example? No. That obviously is something that they've been told that they cannot say on the stream. So, like, again, this is not about the devs specifically. This is about the overall structure of this. I think that there is either a communications issue, so that there is genuinely really cool stuff there that we're not seeing, or I think that there might be a little bit of a disconnect happening between what was fun about Outbreak, what was fun about DMZ, what was fun about round-based zombies, and what this is. Because I'm not feeling like they're really selling what this is very well. And again, I still don't know if it might be even passable, if it's going to be good, if it's going to be bad. I just don't know. Because it's this thing. It feels very disconnected to me. It feels disjointed. Agreed, producer. So ultimately, like, I watch this and I'm like, I don't really know what we're getting here. I have a lot of questions now. I hope that it's something that I can jump into in the way that I jumped into Outbreak and have a good time. But as it stands right now, with the time limit and with the way that they've changed the power curve, etc., and also with the personality of it, or the hard pivot from the Treyarch personality to the Modern Warfare personality, I'm feeling a bit of disconnect between what I thought they were going to be doing and what we seem to be getting. So I'm going to have to dig into this more. I'm going to look up their tweets that they've been putting out. I'm going to look up more info on the Call of Duty blog, etc., and try and dig into this a little more deeply and then post more videos on it. But as it stands, my overwhelming emotion is confusion, basically. It's a lot of confusion. This is not what I was expecting at all, weirdly. Make of that what you will.